Mark, I don't know whether I'm losing the will to live or whether I'm feeling a whole new gear of righteous indignation. I might have to wait till I get off air later to find out. What did you want to say?
James, I'm in the same boat as you. I'm immunocompromised, and today is a year that I've been running with a couple of other people a campaign just trying to get a drug for all the immunocompromised people that have been stuck shielding for so long.
And still are, in many cases.
And still are, exactly. And just totally and absolutely ignored by this government. Every letter we have sent in partnership with national charities has been ignored, just totally and utterly disregarded by this government. And the stories we hear from the people that are still affected by this are heartbreaking and sickening. And this week, we've been writing our statement to submit at the request of Baroness Hallett to the inquiry. I've just finished writing a 54-page statement that outlines everything that people in this position, since they started shielding, have gone through. No support, no financial support.
How did it happen, is what you want to know. How did it happen, and what are you going to do about it? And they're trying to keep the evidence secret. Yeah,
and when you sit and look at some of these questions that have been released, that have been asked of Boris Johnson,
that's a good point.
Beyond the pale.
Yeah.
That it's just sickening to see how it's been treated. So your question as to why they're trying to hide it, it is. It's right in front of your eyes. You only have to look back about a year ago when the Tory party had that dinner and they all walked in smirking past the various families that were campaigning as they walked in with absolutely no regard for them.
Is it that simple? Are we talking about sociopathy on a sort of grand scale? It is literally, what is our job here? Our job is to avoid getting into trouble. That is our only job. We called an investigation because we had to. It's a bit like Leveson. I was writing about Leveson at the weekend. Only reason why Cameron called Leveson was because of the revelations about the News of the World hacking Millie Dowler's family's phone. If it hadn't been for that, the story wouldn't have gone where it went, and Cameron wouldn't have reacted. So they called Leveson because they felt that they had to. And then, fast forward 7 years and they cancelled Leveson too. So they've only called this inquiry because they felt that they had to. And they have no intention whatsoever of helping it reach full and frank conclusions. It's like Hillsborough all over again. Our job is to keep ourselves out of trouble, and that's why we're going to court. However ridiculous and disgusting it looks, we're going to go to court to try and keep the evidence in a safe.
Exactly.
Locked in a safe.
This is what they do with every issue. Let's keep pushing it away and push it away until the next complete screw-up comes along, and then the media attention will be pushed to that. And we can forget about this one.
I don't even think we can talk about media attention because the media are in on this.
Exactly.
Philip Schofield is still on my television.
Yep.
And that's the BBC. That's the supposedly the broadcaster of repute and impartiality. It's still there. I want wall-to-wall coverage of why the hell Rishi Sunak is going to court to keep evidence away from the inquiry into COVID, and all I'm getting is wall-to-wall Philip flipping Schofield. 10:31 is the time. Thomas, I wish you well, Mark. It's a horrible position to be in. Probably the most forgotten cohort throughout the whole of this crisis. And, of course, your misery continues. Thomas Watts is here now with your headlines.